Hi, my name is Kara Bash, and I am about to present my third speech, my persuasive speech, on recycling overfull landfills and their effect on the environment. My husband's filming. I'll go over these. I have my note cards. I use the small ones, so I did front and back on these. My husband's filming. He's going to go around the audience, and then I'll begin my presentation. Landfills and the use of toxic waste dumps is becoming not just a local issue, but a national and international issue that is getting a little bit better, but efforts need to be put towards implementing laws, regulations to actually take effect in the United States. National policies have been adopted throughout our country. As all of you, I'm sure, are aware of where recycling bins are. All of us pretty much know exactly what the recycling symbol looks like. So most Americans, most people around the world know what to recycle, they're just not doing it. Personal responsibility is severely lacking. In other regions of the world, regulations and laws have been implemented to create incentives and laws. If you don't recycle, there's some sort of punishment. Most of the time it's an incentive to where if you do recycle, you get monetary gain or some sort of other gain in response. Landfills and toxic waste dumps are creating many issues. I'm going to go over 3 main points, and I'm going to end with a solution so we can all take a little bit of responsibility to fix this issue. My first issue that I would like to cover is air pollution. Landfills are full of, according to John Newton in his article, The Effects of Landfills on the Environment. Landfills are full of 2/3 full of biodegradable organic materials from households, businesses, and industries. The issue with this is that when they decompose, they secrete a gas called methane into our universe. So, our climate. So that's directly affecting global warming, and our climate change. So in the US, it's implemented in the same article by John Newton. It was implemented that this methane gas would be turned into electricity. It's working because the byproduct from this electricity is carbon dioxide, which has a much lesser carbon footprint on our environment. The next issue I'd like to cover is biodiversity. Basically what that is, that's plant life, that's animal life in these locations. Landfill sites have been known and are quoted by the Romanian ministry that 30 to 300 species are becoming extinct and being replaced. So basically, the animals and mammals that were previously living in these areas are being replaced by refuse-eating animals such as rats and crows. Basically, what we're doing to our world is getting rid of all of the beautiful animals and replacing them with rats and crows. Probably not something we want to do, right? The last one I want to touch on is definitely going to hit home for all of us, is groundwater pollution. So what happens when all of the methane gas, all of these biodegradable organic products are sitting there on the earth? What happens when it rains? It's all being secreted into our soil and into our drinking water. There's also toxic chemicals, ammonia, and pathogens that are being secreted into our water. When that goes into the water, it deoxifies the water. So when that reaches streams and rivers and oceans, it deoxifies the water so that plants' aqua life is all dead. It's all dying. So, excuse me. So what I would like to do is propose a solution. There are a couple different options. All of them come down to social responsibility. The first thing is laws and regulations being implemented. I'd like to see some sort of punishment be going out to those who are not recycling and reusing materials that we all know can be reused and resourced. The second thing I'd like to see is is some sort of incentive. In an article by the Chronicle Herald, the article is Eradication of Mercury in Landfills, Recycling Center looks to avoid groundwater pollution. What this article summed up is that Dan Hall, the president and CEO of Danex Recycling in Canada, was realizing that he has a recycling company, and he realized that the company was not recycling products the way that they said they were going to. So again, mercury was going into our groundwater, poisoning all local waters, local streams, local rivers, all of the above. So what Dan Hall set out to do was make sure that his company was truly recycling, which means every object in the light bulb was being recycled. The mercury, the wiring, the metal, the glass, all of it was being recycled and repurposed, okay? So he initially implemented these regulations to be passed in Canada in 2009. He waited. He finally changed his company, pushed everything through, and made a change. By 2012, these laws were still not passed. No regulations, no sort of recognition that this was an issue. So what he did was he made sure that all the glass, all the mercury, all the metal was being recycled and reused. He saw an 80% increase in recycling an 80% increase in recycling, 32% decrease in mercury going into landfills, which is huge when you think about aquatic life, animals who are drinking out of that water, and ourselves, our children who are drinking out of this water. So basically, what I'd like you guys to take from all of this is that this is an ongoing issue. It's not being fixed, it's not being helped. It comes down to social responsibility. Each person's choice to make the right decision, and that's not enough right now. So what I'd like all of you to do today, excuse me, sorry guys. Is take the information that I've given you today, use it, educate others, and ask them to take the responsibility to recycle products that they know need to be recycled and not trash everything just because it's easy. Teach your kids so we can leave a cleaner world than we're having today. Otherwise, we're not going to have our animals, we're not going to have our plants, we're going to live in filth. And I don't think it's something any of us want. Thank you all so much for being here.